Hey kids! Today I'm gonna show you how to play chess the right way. Let's get it. Alright, so the first thing you want to do, you obviously have to have a board, okay? This board, well, we only have two here, but I'm gonna throw it off the side. Bro, why are you talking like that, bro? Talking like what? Bro, what are you doing? Talk normal, man. Talking like what? 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 That's it. Talking like what? What happened to my boys? Hey, come back. My boys. What did you do to my boys? Wait a minute. I thought of something. Whoa. I can talk normal again. I can talk normal again. Boy, if you don't get... Okay guys, so you guys want to learn how to play chess. These are the main fundamentals of how to play chess. So the first thing you're going to need is a chessboard, of course. Chessboard you pick up anywhere, any retail store, anywhere that you go that sells chess, which is probably almost anywhere. Once you got the chessboard, of course, the main important essential things that you're going to be touching are the pieces. This is the queen, alright? So, once you guys got the board and the pieces. Alright guys, now that we got the basics of what you need to use and what you need to play the game of chess, let's go over why chess is actually fun and really relevant. First thing, if you're at work and you go on break, you could always play chess on your phone because there is a chess.com app on your phone you could download via the Google Play Store or App Store on your phone depending on what you have, Android or iPhone. You could play chess while you're waiting in line at somewhere. You could play chess while you're in the bathroom. You could play chess while you go to the park. You can even play chess while you're sleeping in bed. Anywhere you go, you can play chess. But the beauty of chess is all you need is your mind. Your mind is literally the game. That's how you play chess, guys. Now that we got everything out the way of the fundamentals and funs of playing chess. Alright, now that you guys have gotten the idea of how to play chess, this is the chessboard, okay? The chessboard has 64 squares on the board, okay? An easy way to remember that is 8 times 8 is 64, or that's how I learned my math skills. Yeah. Alright, so basically, once you got the chessboard on the table, it's gonna be filled up with ranks and files, alright? And it has the letters from A through H and the numbers from 1 through 8. The 1 through 8 represents the ranks, and the A through 8 represents the files, okay? So, once you guys have that down pat, you guys get that? Hey, you guys better get that. Alright, so next thing you want to do is grab out the pieces. Once you guys have gotten the pieces out, the first thing you want to do is grab whatever piece you can. Which, I recommend is dumping the whole thing out. Yeah, I recommend dropping all of these on the chessboard. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. These pieces are very valuable, okay? You do not want to mess up these pieces. Just look at detailed this knight is, okay? This knight has good details in it. You do not want to damage pieces like this. This is a very expensive chess set, okay? It's very expensive, as you can see. It's made of literal wood. But if you guys have some other pieces that are not as expensive as this, I would just say just dump the whole entire pieces on the board. But since this is an expensive set, I am not gonna do something like that. Isn't that right, knight? Yeah. You bet it is. Once you guys get all the pieces out, I'm going to show you guys all these pieces and what their names are and what their duty is. Get it? Duty? Duty.
Hero's duty?
It's not that kind of duty.
Alright, so I'm going to get all the pieces out. Alright guys, I finally got the pieces ordered and settled. Now I'm going to show you what the pieces are and what they do. So first, before we start any of that, I'm going to tell you guys the game is going to be between white and black. You can choose between what side you want to play in some situations, but most of the time if you're playing in a tournament or if anything of that nature, it's basically randomized of whether you're going to be white or black. Okay, so if you're white, you're going to be the first person to move, alright? Then black is the next person to move. I don't know why it's like that, but that's just the rules, okay? Alright, I'm going to show you guys the pieces, okay? Its weaknesses and its powers. Alright, so let's start off with the rook, okay? This is the rook right here. The rook is I guess you can say it's a big piece or a major piece, okay? This is what we call a major piece, alright? This piece right here is basically a big, huge cannon, alright? This thing will literally go on the board and does not give anything off that it sees, okay? The rook can move up and down and sideways across the whole entire board. That's what makes this so unique. And if you guys are wondering, the rook is worth 5 points, okay? 5 points out of the whole entire chess army. So this is a major piece, is what we like to call it. Alright guys, the next piece we're going to be talking about is the knight. This right here, my friends, is a knight. You may think it looks like a horse because it is a horse. Woo! Yeah, I'm a horse. Dude, why are you trying to sound like Jackie? What? I'm not Jackie, I'm a horse. Well, if you're a horse, you want to be sounding like Jackie right now. I guess you have a point. Well, yeah, let's fight. As you guys can see over here, the knight is worth approximately 3 points on the board. This is what we call a minor piece, okay? This knight can jump from hoops to hoops. Go, Emma, I'm recording a video. Can you go back upstairs? It can move in L shapes. It's basically like a jumping horse on the board. Alright guys, the next piece is going to be the bishop. The bishop right here, it is also...
You serious?
Is also worth 3 points. It is also considered a minor piece. This is going to be the bishop right here. The bishop, it moves in diagonal spaces and is basically like a sniper on the chessboard, okay? The good thing about the bishop is that it can pin other pieces. Now you guys might be wondering to yourselves, what is a pin? Well, I'm so glad you asked, my friend. The definition of a pin is a chess tactic in which a defending piece cannot move without exposing a more valuable defending piece on its other side to capture by the attacking piece. Also, another thing I wanted to state is the bishop not only has one square of color that it's on, but it also has another square. You're going to have a bishop that's on a light square and a dark square. And depending on how you use the bishop is where you're gonna have success. You don't know how powerful this is in the endgame, especially. Alright guys, the next piece I'm going to be showing you guys is the pawn. The pawn may be a small piece. This poor pawn, you may think is the weakest piece on the board, but it could also be the strongest piece on the board because this piece has the power and ability to become another piece on the chessboard itself. That's crazy. It's like getting a promotion at work, but you basically become another piece and it becomes way stronger and powerful than it already is. The pawn is only worth 1 point on the chessboard, but it has a lot of tricks up its sleeve, not just promoting to other pieces, but having a special ability called en passant. Okay, so en passant is a French term that only occurs immediately after a pawn makes a move of 2 squares from its starting square. Once that has happened, you can capture the pawn as it is displayed. The pawn can only march one space up or diagonally if it's capturing. But it is a true soldier. Alright guys, the next piece we are going to be talking about is in fact the Creed. The queen is probably the most powerful piece on the whole entire chessboard, with a whopping worth of 9 points. The reason being is because the queen can go in all types of directions. It can move just like a rook, it can move just like a bishop, and it can move anywhere it wants to on the board. The only ability that is lacking is the knight. If it had the ability of the knight, this piece would be too overpowered. Trust me, if your queen is taken out too early in the game, you are probably going to most likely have a hard time playing, because this piece is in fact the strongest piece on the chessboard. But if you could learn to play without your queen, you can be more successful in chess. The reason why is because you have other pieces on the board to help you with you guiding your king. Although guys, the main objective of chess is to protect the king and checkmate the other king. Alright guys, the last and final piece we are going to be talking about is... is the king. Now, the king is worth 3.5 points. The king is the most important piece on the chessboard, being because if your king gets checkmated, that means the game is over and you lose.
If you leave your game, stay safe, stay alert, and whatever you do, don't die. Because if you die outside your own game, you don't regenerate, ever. Game over.
But the king is the most important piece in the endgame, especially when you only have a pawn left. The king dominates in the endgame and is the most powerful piece when it comes to that time frame. So, do not underestimate the king, because the king is the king. Alright everybody, now that we got everything situated, what the pieces can do on the board, I'm going to be showing you how to set up the board now. Let's get it. Also, fun fact, did you guys know that chess can help you improve your critical thinking skills, such as math? Chess has helped me become really good at math, especially when I got into high school. It helped me critically think and get extremely good at math. So, do you guys know what they call me? My name is Matthew, so I guess it's in my name or in my nature. But math is a good subject.
Now it's time for everybody's favorite subject, math.
Until you get to Algebra 2, that is. Anyways, now I'm going to tell you guys how to set up the chess pieces on the chessboard. So as you guys can see, if you're taking notation, which notation is basically a paper that you write the moves down on the paper, so whenever you want to look back at the game, you could always look back at the notation that you recorded on the piece of paper. I'm not going to get too in depth of how to write notation, but that's basically how that works. Where it says 1, 2, at the bottom of the chessboard, well, we're at. If you guys see that right there, that means the white pieces go on this side of the board. On the other side of the board where it says 7, 8, that's where the black pieces go. Alright, so we're first going to be setting up the white pieces. Of the edges of the board, where the corners are right here, these are where the rooks are going to go, okay? So, I'm going to have my 2 rooks go like this. Alright, that's pretty darn simple. Now, the next pieces that fall in line are the knights. The knights are going to go in the center as well. They're going to be going right next to the rooks, okay? So once that is also set up, next we got the bishops. We get the bishops fall in line right there, and then we got the queen. The queen may be a tricky piece to put on the board. Let me show you guys why. There's a saying in chess, the queen matches its color. So if the queen is white, the queen always has to go on the white space on the board right here. And if the queen is black, like this, the queen has to match its color, so of course it's going to go on the opposite right here, where it is the black space. The queen matches its color, guys. Don't forget it.
See there? I knew it. Those are the punks I was telling you about.
Who are you calling punks? It's Sora, Donald, and Goofy to you, and don't you forget it.
Alright, now the next piece you put in line is the king. Now that we set up all these pieces, now all that's left is to set up the pawns. The pawns just go right in line just like this. Aw, dang, poor pawn. Alright, now that you guys have set up the chessboard, this is how it basically looks. The same thing will be on the other side of the chessboard with the black pieces, and vice versa. Let's get it, and I'm going to show you guys how to set it up. Alright, so this is how you set up the chessboard. I know it may not be perfect, but You know, nothing in this world is perfect, okay? Guys, once this is set up, you guys are ready to play with another person. Alright guys, if you're in a game and you come across where the only thing that's left on the board are the two kings, it is the automatic draw. You can never checkmate with two kings just on the board. It's just not possible. If you ever come across this, or maybe this, there's no way you could checkmate with a knight and king or a bishop and king. It's not possible either. But you can't checkmate with two bishops and a king, or a king, bishop, and a king. But it is very hard to checkmate like this. If you ever come across in a situation where you have these pieces left on the board, there is a way to checkmate. It's just going to be very hard. There's a little trick in chess called castling. And if you can castle your king early, you are basically good to go as of in the terms of defense whenever playing chess. This is how you castle, guys. There are two ways to castle. One being on the king side, and the other is being on the queen side. This is castling on the king side. But let's say for an example you wanted to castle on the queen side. Well, I got you covered. It's basically the same concept. But the only thing is, if you wanted to castle on the queen side, it's probably going to be more difficult to do something like that. But it does work in some cases, because if you castle on the queen side, everything's going to be much easier because you're going to be attacking all your troops and forces against the king side without opening up your whole entire king castling side. Let me show you guys how to castle on the queen side. Boom, boom, boom. You are now officially castled on the queen side. The only difference is you move your king 3 times over to the square beside the rook, and then you bring the rook right over like this. Alright, so let's say for example you wanted to checkmate the king. Well, the way to checkmate the king is you have to trap the king, and if the king can't move anywhere without being in check, while it's in check, it is checkmate. Let me show you guys an example. Boom, boom, boom. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call checkmate. The king can't move anywhere, and the other pieces cannot take the piece that is checking the king, and the king cannot move anywhere. If that is the case, the game is over, and it is checkmate. The king is stuck in this one square. The king is stuck in this one square right here, and it cannot move anywhere. And it cannot take this piece that is checking it, so it is checkmate. But there's also some stuff that is really risky when trying to checkmate your opponent. If you cannot successfully checkmate your opponent, and your opponent doesn't have any piece to capture, or let's say for example the only piece the opponent has is a king, and you cannot checkmate the king and the king can't move anywhere without being in check while it's not in check, that is called a stalemate. A stalemate is basically the same thing as a draw. And if it's a stalemate, no person wins in the game, and it's a draw. You don't want to be in a stalemate because that just automatically sucks. Nobody wins the game. Alright, let me show you guys an example of what a stalemate is like. Alright guys, so this is what we call a stalemate. As you guys can see, white is being stalemated by black because white only has the king and black has the bishop, the knight, and the queen, okay? The queen and all these pieces are guarding all these squares. So this is what we call a stalemate. But let's say for an example it was black's turn and black only has one move to checkmate. Can you guys find the move that black can checkmate white? Alright, I hope you guys found it. There's only one move to checkmate the king. It's to bring the queen right here. Boom. This is checkmate. Alright guys, this is how you play chess. I hope you guys learned something new today, and try to show off your chess skills to anybody that you know. Trust me, chess goes a long way, and it helps you with your critical thinking. Alright guys, that's gonna be the end of today's video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a comment and like. If you guys are new to my channel, make sure to click that subscribe button, click notification bell to never miss any of my videos. If you guys do want more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I'll definitely let you know if I can make more videos like this, but try to get this video to 50 likes or more. And until next time, see y'all later.
I'm always with you.
Goodbye.